Today's Sunshine Note is titled, Predictions from the Little Black Book. Listen, O High Priest Joshua and your associates seated before you. You are men symbolic of things to come. I am going to bring my servant the branch. Zechariah chapter 3 verse 8. Several people claim to have seen the book, although no one knew for sure it existed. But Mr. Allen, the physics teacher in the high school in which my wife taught, created a tradition based on the mysterious little black book. Throughout the year, he'd make observations about who was dating whom and which senior would marry which other senior in the future. He'd pair up everyone from the senior class and write it down in his little book. He never showed it publicly, but he would refer to it every once in a while. Rumor had it that he was right more often than not, but how could you ever be sure if you couldn't get your hands on the book? Many a senior had tried, but no one truly knew where he kept it. Only when one or another of the students got married would he confess that he predicted it long before. The book of Zechariah makes a lot of predictions about events in the Messiah's life, but you don't have to wonder what they were or hunt it down in a locked desk somewhere. Zechariah was trying to get the word out because he wanted everyone to know what and who was coming along down the line. The returning exiles from Babylon had to deal with the fact that their lives had been torn apart and that it seemed God had completely rejected them. But his message is quite the opposite. In fact, he says that they will be blessed more than those who came before them. Here, Zechariah paints one of the most vivid pictures in the entire Bible of Jesus' life, death, and resurrection. Today's verse describes the high priest Joshua and his associates, who were men symbolic of things to come. In the Hebrew language, the name Joshua is Jehoshua, which is sometimes shortened in form to the name Jeshua, or Jesus, our high priest in heaven. This servant, the branch that God promised to send, was the one thing that would bring all the other prophecies and predictions to fulfillment. It's fitting then that in almost the last book of the Old Testament, we see again the promise that was given to Adam and Eve on the day they were forced from the Garden of Eden. I will send a Savior to you who will bring you back home. That's the overarching theme of the Bible. We have left God, but God will not leave us. And today, if you're hearing His voice calling you home, don't ignore it. Just come home. May God bless you today.